How's it going, guys? Hector here, and I want to make a video on should you go to college or should you learn to day trade, or maybe learn some other skill, some other trade like plumbing or electrician. Should you go to college or should you learn to day trade? Now, I feel like I can talk about this because I've gone to college. I got a degree. I've been out of college for years now, but I went to college. I got a degree, so I feel qualified to speak on this. And just gonna go over a little bit of my story, kind of in my younger years out of high school, getting into college, and kind of post-college, and where I'm at now. So, long story short, I got my degree in accounting, okay, my bachelor's in accounting. I worked in the field for a couple years, and I no longer, years out of college, I no longer work in the field, okay? So, one thing before I get too deep into it is when you're young, when you're in high school, when you're 17, in your teens, in your 20s, people's opinions really weigh on our decision making, right? We want to make the people around us happy, the people that love us happy. And I was kind of part of that generation. I'm a little older. I'm in my 30s now, where the route was still to go to college. You have to go to college to be successful. It's the only route. Especially me, I'm an immigrant, first generation in America, Colombian American. So that was kind of the route that the people around me, my family, wanted for me, rightfully so. Okay, and so I thought that was what I was supposed to do. Now, I feel like I wasted 5 years of my life. That's how long it took me to graduate, rather than 4 years, 5 years, because, like I mentioned, I'm not in the field anymore, okay? And so I just kind of have this degree with student loan debt that I'm still paying back. Thankfully, it's not that much more that I owe yet, but I've been paying back my student debt on something that I no longer even am using it as a career path, as a way to make money. So what I would like to say is, if you want to go to college, make sure that you do it because you are passionate about just a few careers, okay? If you, like me, really want to be an accountant, and then you want to take your CPA, your Certified Public Accounting exam. It's an exam that you have to take to get your CPA license in accounting. If you want to do that, if you want to be a lawyer, if you are passionate about law, right? You want to do political science for 4 years and then try to get into law school. If you know that you are passionate about that, that's a blessing. Go to college and go try to be a lawyer. If you're passionate about the medical field, you want to be a doctor, you want to help people out, okay? And you are passionate about that at a young age, out of high school, go into that, okay? These are high paying careers that if you are passionate about it, go into them. Don't go into them because they're high paying, because you're not going to last long if it's about the money. There's a million ways to make money, okay? If you want to be an engineer, if you're passionate about that, if you are passionate about math, science, mathematician, right? You want to get your degree in mathematics, and things that pay very well, yes, go to college. But if you are just on the verge of going to college because your family and your friends are telling you that you should go to college and you don't even know what you want to study, and then you end up studying something very general, like business management or criminal justice, and I'll just name those because I knew people in college that kind of studied business management and criminal justice, and they're serving tables now, right? They're serving tables, probably paying back student debt, right? They were naive. They were part of that generation that just got pushed into college. I was younger and I wasn't as wise as I am now. And so what I would say is, if you want to go down those fields, go to college, okay? If you are passionate in your heart, deep down, you want to do one of those fields that I mentioned that are high paying, that is great. If not, and you have great work ethic, literally go get a serving job and live with your parents and save as much money as possible. In that journey, you're going to figure out what you actually want to do. Oh, you know what? I've been serving for 3 years out of high school, something like that. I actually do want to be a lawyer. You're getting into your 20s now. You're starting to see people, around you moving, getting into career paths. You start gaining interest in certain fields, maybe you do decide later on that you want to be a lawyer while you're in your 20s. But obviously, like I said, make sure you're passionate about that. Until then, just there's plenty of work. Like, go get a serving job, go be a valet, like whatever. There's so many opportunities for someone fresh out of high school or in high school, and go make as much money as possible. Go stack as much money as possible, because what does that money do? And live with your parents. Keep your expenses low. This is very important. Keep your overhead costs low. Stack as much dough as possible, because now having that dough, having that money is going to give you the opportunity to take a step back, take a deep breath, and look at certain paths that you want to take in life. Maybe you want to use some of that money to go travel, go abroad. Maybe you find some type of passion and love abroad. Okay. For me now, what I'm getting into for the past few years now is day trading. Okay. So, I'm speaking to a lot of day traders. Like, a lot of young men that are maybe, and women that are 17, 18, 19 years old. They're like, well, should I go to college or should I learn to day trade? I would say, like I started the video, if you're passionate about one of those things and you feel like that passion is more than the passion of day trading in the markets, go to college and study one of those things. But if you feel like there's something calling you to be a day trader and learn the craft and get good at it and be able to live life under your own terms, because that's what this career can do for you. With no financial cap, there is no cap. Okay? Then get started. Do that now. And you can get started for relatively cheap. Okay? It's going to be a journey. It's not easy. It's the strategy. Once you find your strategy, once you find your psychology in the markets, that's very simple, right? But the emotions that come with it, that's what's difficult. But if you're going to go to college for 4 or 5 years and kind of just dibble dabble in something that doesn't have high probability of paying you well out of college and getting into debt, you might as well set those 4 years to, like I said, get a job, stack dough, don't get into debt. Okay, stack as much money as possible so you can invest into day trading. Okay, into funding your first account. Okay, maybe it's not day trading. Maybe it's something. Maybe you do want to go abroad. Okay, maybe you want to work with animals in Australia. Whatever that is for you, you can't do it without money. You certainly can't do it when you're out of college with $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in student loan debt, with a criminal justice degree or an arts degree that someone told you, that an advisor in college told you, you have to take these classes, you have to get this degree. The opportunities are endless once you graduate. Listen, people at alarming rates are graduating and not finding work and just tackling on the student loan debt. Okay, alarming rates, right? There's so many cases out there on social media of people finding success outside of the traditional route of going to college. Okay, now if you're still listening, don't show this to your parents. If you're a young person on the fence kind of trying to figure it out, don't show them this video. I don't want them to come chase me down, right? Because a lot of our parents, they're old school, they're traditional. They want you to go to college. They still think that's the way to be successful. Listen, you can always go to college. You can always apply when you're 25, 26. Maybe you find somewhere in your mid 20s, hey, I actually do want to be a doctor. I do want to be an engineer. I do want to do these things. I do want to be a mathematician. This requires this college degree. So fine, I'll go now. But now you're sure that you want to do those things, right? You're not 18 getting pushed into student loan debt for something that may or may not work for you. Okay, so I studied accounting, and for the longest time, I was just like in regret mode. Like, I can't believe I got into student debt. I can't believe I fell into going to college, right? The opinions of others were so important to me. And don't get me wrong, college was a learning experience. I had great experiences. I met some of my best friends in life. Okay, did a lot of fun stuff, met a lot of great people. But I wish I had the wisdom now. I wish I had the wisdom back then that I have now, okay? And I wish I would have seen a video like this back then, okay? And I wish I would have taken action back then. I wish I just would have been a little bit more, just I'm doing what's right for me back then, you know what I'm saying? And I've always had a work ethic. So I know that anything that I apply myself to, I'll be great at it, okay? And so if you are on the verge of or on the fence about what do I need to do, go to college or just get to work, maybe learn day trading, okay? Look, if you put your head down, you can understand these markets in 6 to 9 months. Within 12 months, one full market cycle, 12 months, you can really understand these markets. There's people that have found success in 2 years and 3 years, in 1 year. Even if it takes you 4 or 5 years to find success and profitability and consistency in the markets and day trading, in the Forex market, in the futures market, whatever you trade, that's still the same amount of time that it takes you to go to college. And guess what? You're not going to be getting into debt while you're in the markets. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself, so much more. And take it from me, someone that's already been in the markets for a few years, and still trying to level up and still trying to get to where I'm going with and do for myself in my life what I want through the markets, the goals I'm trying to achieve. You will learn more about yourself through the markets. The markets will expose who you really are and where you need to fix yourself more than any time in college. I partied in college, man. I got good grades. I passed. I got an accounting degree. It was a tough degree to get. I worked in the field for 2 years and I hated it. I was miserable. I worked at a desk from 9 to 5. It's not really 9 to 5. It's like an 8 to 7. That's the first lie, okay? For a couple years, and I interned throughout college, and I was like, man, like, these jobs aren't exciting, but I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I thought I was supposed to intern and do this. You got to take these internships. Man, I've always had a work ethic, and I always worked in restaurants. In high school, I worked in restaurants, busser. And I made good money, and this is way before inflation. So like the money was good. Even today, for like a 17-year-old making $200 a day in a restaurant, like that's good money today. That was great. That was like twice as much money, back in 2009, 2010 when I was in the market, when I was in working jobs in restaurants. Okay, so I had the work ethic, so I knew that if I just would have focused on working and just stacking dough, I would have been able to take more trips. I would have been able to do more of the things that I love. I grew up surfing. I would have been able to surf more, but I couldn't do a lot of that when I was in college because I was so stressed out from exams. And I chose a tough degree, accounting, okay? So there's a lot of things that I missed out on. And now there's nothing I can't, I'm not regretting it anymore. There's nothing I can't go back in time. But what I can do is, from this point on in my life, I'm going to choose what is right for me and for my own goals, okay? So that's one thing I want to say. I tell this to myself every single day. I do this, I tell this to myself every single day. No one knows what's right for you. Only you know what's right for you, okay? The people around you, if you choose not to go to college right away, they might be upset. They might feel shameful, okay? They might feel ashamed for you, and it's gonna sting a little bit for you younger folks that in your 20s and your teens getting out of high school trying to figure it out. It's gonna sting a little bit because you don't want to make the people that you love and love you back, you don't want to make them upset. But trust me, when they see that you're actually chasing something that you are passionate about, they are gonna notice that, and it's gonna rub off. Like that little sting is gonna rub off. They're gonna be okay. As long as, now you can't say, okay, I'm not going to college, but I'm just gonna sit on my butt all day at my mom's house, at my parents' house, and play video games. You can't do that. You gotta do something. If you're not gonna go to college, you have to go learn something. Go get a job. Go start saving money. Okay? Learn about personal finances, personal budgeting. Okay? You can't just sit on your butt. You gotta go do something and still work on being great at that. And that's why I think day trading is such a great outlet for, I wish I knew about day trading years ago. You know what I'm saying? I wish I knew about this years ago when I was getting out of high school. And I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know that you can make like an endless amount of money. Like there's no cap to what you can make in a day. There's people making $50 a day. There's people making $50,000 a day. I didn't know that this was a thing. I was so like the traditional route, 9 to 5, go sit at a desk, go to college. It's people that don't go to college are not successful. Man, that couldn't be farther from the truth, man. There's so many people that I know personally that didn't choose the college route and they've been very successful. What's that trait that they all had? They're all very driven in the one thing that they chose to do. whether they chose a trade like plumbing or electrician, something like that, or construction. Okay, I have a buddy that is a boat captain. He didn't go to college, and he makes great money, and he's very successful, and he has a son, and he's happy. Okay, and you know, you got to make sure that you're not going out here like, okay, I'm not going to college, but you can't be partying and like doing crazy stuff. Okay, like you're already showing the people around you that, hey, I'm not going to college. You can't just be out here like, all right, I'm not going to college and doing crazy stuff. Okay, you got to lock in. You got to lock in and stay focused on what you're doing. Okay, and if it's day trading for you, like lock in. This past year has been the greatest year for me. Learning about myself in the markets and how I perform best. Okay, there was a fire under my butt earlier this year. Well, I mean, I'm talking back against the wall, and I'm moving forward, and I've learned more and been more profitable and consistent than I've ever been. Okay, and this is the journey that you have to go through. So if you haven't been through the journey, it's kind of hard to understand what I'm talking about, but you're gonna remember this after you go through all the L's. Okay, but the L's, you're gonna lose money in the markets initially while you're learning, but that L is nothing compared to the L of going to college for something that you don't understand why you're going, and you're getting out of school with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K in debt. Some people 100K plus. Okay, I met a girl after that I worked with after college. Bro, she went to college for 4 years, studied something, I forgot what it was, and then she was like, oh, you know what, I actually I went back to college to get my degree in this, something completely different than what she originally got, because that was her passion. Okay, and she was like, yeah, I'm like $250,000 in debt, 250K. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm just like, you need to just get to work. You need to get to work. Okay, so there's people out there, you know, on that higher end of the spectrum, you know, 6 figures in debt, and they're not even really sure if they even love what they studied, even the second time around. So that's a scary thing. Okay, so guys, that's the little message I want to give to y'all. This video is going on for a second now. I guess that's what's happening when you really got something to say, and I'm hoping to reach, you know, some younger people, 17, 18, in their early 20s, mid 20s, trying to figure out like, what should I do? Should I go back to college, or should I really focus in on this day trading thing? And I say lock in. If there's something pulling you back to the markets, like, all right, this is making a lot more sense than the first time around. I lost money the first time around, but this time I know what I did wrong. Like, I understand market structure better. I understand price action better. Like, I understand gaps in the market a lot better. Okay, you're better now than you were before you took the last loss that you took. Okay, so if there's something pulling you back to the markets because maybe you've had a little bit of success in the markets, maybe you've made a little bit of money, so now you know it's real. Okay, it's proven. Now you need to figure out, how do I get on the right side of the trade, on the right side of the market at the right time? And that's where you can capitalize and really change your life forever. Okay, so I'm hoping to reach someone younger in that age group that is on the fence and they don't know what to do. Take it from someone. I'm 32. Okay, I take it from someone that went to college, studied a tough degree because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Worked in the field for 2 years, did the whole interning, student debt. And now I'm trying to figure out, not trying to, like, I already know this is going to be my thing. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm locked in on this, something that I actually know is going to give me the life that I want to live. Okay. And I'm chasing that freedom, not just money freedom, time freedom. Okay. And I really think that we are put on this earth to be great, and we really can live life on our own terms. I really think, and I really believe that. Okay, so if you're on the fence about, should I go to college, should I learn day trading, should I go learn another trade that I'm actually passionate about, man, follow that passion, man. You're gonna figure it out. All right, do what's right for you, not what's right for what other people think of you. Okay, all right, peace out, love y'all.